Hey guys, CoolDudeUSA here, and before the commentary starts, I just wanted to say that I will be knowing what the gameplay is in the background. It'll actually be a solo triple nuclear on the map Hijacked Domination with an A94 by Meyer, the newest member of our clan, and he used to be in Con Warriors and now he joined us, and he's a beast player. We'll give him more of a formal introduction to the clan later, but in the commentary that's about to come up, I will say I don't know what gameplay it is, but I do know it's a solo triple on Hijacked. So that's all I wanted to say real quick, and the commentary will start from here to now. Hey guys, CoolDudeUSA here, and sorry for not bringing you guys any videos for the past couple of days. I've been trying my best, but YouTube is not allowing me to upload anything. It kept on saying this video cannot be processed, even though I converted it into the correct file and all that. And it was really getting frustrating. It would take, I would sit there for 3 hours not being able to use my internet because it was, uploading a video, and then I would see it say, video cannot be processed, and it got really frustrating, and it did it for the past couple of days, and I'm just hoping at this point that it won't. And I'm not exactly sure what gameplay I'm going to be putting on this, but I just wanted to make this commentary to make sure you guys understood why this was happening, and that, we don't lose any subs or anything like that, and you guys stay loyal, because I know a couple of days of not uploading can kill a clan channel even, but Doom Clan hasn't uploaded for 6 days, and and stuff, so I'm assuming it's not going to be the end of this channel. The commentary topic I was going to talk about today is about the difference, is about competitive players running into pub stompers and acting as they do, and really this is just about, pub stomping is not as easy as competitive players think it is, because I ran into a kid who was a competitive player, and he was a fan of pub stomping, but in his mind he was convinced that pub stomping was much easier than playing competitive just in general. And the thing is getting into competitive is harder, in my opinion, than getting into pub stomping. Well, no, actually, sorry. For someone who just started the game, getting into competitive is a whole crap ton easier than getting into pub stomping. But if you've been in the community for a long time, pub stomping is, I think, a lot easier to get into than competitive playing. But it doesn't mean it's easier to do. The reason it's easier to get into is because pub stompers are much more prevalent people within the community. Competitive players, they don't exactly bring too much influence upon the community or anything like that. In general, they just kind of stick to a clique of other players that they have within the competitive community. But pub stompers kind of, the bigger pub stompers kind of branch out and talk to everyone because they have to. They love to get full parties and stuff like that, so they just kind of talk to everyone, whereas competitive players don't. So, once you've been in the community for a long time, it's much easier to get into the pub stomping community than the competitive community. But the thing is it's easier, in my opinion, to be one of the many, high tier, very cocky competitive teams rather than one of the, big pub stomping clans. Because, for example, there are kids I know who have been trying for 2 years to get a triple nuclear and could never get it, but tried for a couple of months to get into, some high league play rank, Masters or what it be it, and got it. And with saying that, people are going to think I'm saying that competitive is a lot easier than pub stomping, but it's definitely not. I think they're both equally challenging in their own way. I think it's really hard to become the best competitive player because there are so many more competitive players than there are pub stompers. I mean, there's so many more comp players than there are pub stompers that your chances of doing really well as a comp player, they're kind of lowish. You can get really high up pretty easy, but getting to the point where you are well known throughout the community, everyone kind of knows your name, I would say that's definitely quite hard. And when it comes to pub stomping, I think it's very hard to get to the point where you're going to join a clan such as Doom Clan, Carnage, OP. That takes literally some people years and stuff. So competitive, I think, is a much faster. You start feeling the rush of, doing well within competitive a lot faster. You go on, you beat teams, you beat teams, you beat teams. Instead of getting gameplays, you just beat people. And that, in my opinion, is a much more fast-paced way to feeling as a successful comp player. And I do believe that is why comp players have, I'm not going to judge all of them, but the ones I have met tend to have kind of a big head about themselves. They start to think that they are the ultimate people within the community. They don't even respect other comp players. And the reason for that is as I said, you just start building yourself up really, really quickly because you're beating all these teams and stuff. But what they don't realize is that, yes, while pub stompers do play worse players, the gameplays that they're getting are not gameplays that these comp players casually can get. As I, kind of proved to the comp player that I was talking to. And, I think if comp players started to go out and grind for these gameplays and realize that they just can't get them, I think they would start to have more respect for the pub stomping community. And at the same time, pub stompers who insult competitive players, which there are few, I think most pub stompers do have a lot of respect for competitive players just because it's something different than what they do. But for the ones who don't, I want to see them get into a truly top-tier competitive team. I want to see them truly go up to be a competitive player. And I'm not talking about master rank, which is what most kids judge themselves off of. Yes, that means you can, do whatever. For some people, it means you can DDoS. For some people, it just means you have a good team. But I'm saying get into, like, a truly top-tier team, and that's going to be quite hard. So that's all I'm trying to say is don't just look at pub stomping and say, oh, I could do that. They're killing bad players just because you play good players. Because if you went on and you play those bad players, you're not going to drop the gameplays that pub stompers get. The most you're probably going to drop is a double nuclear, which, in eyes of clans like us, clans like Doom, clans like Rush, and all those clans, that's really not much. That's nothing. Most members in all of those clans have an extraordinary amount of doubles, an extraordinary amount of all those things. So that's all I'm trying to say, and I'm not trying to spread any hate against competitive players. I'm not trying to do anything like that. I love competitive players. I'm really good friends with a couple, and I like watching, or, I think I'm a fan of Optic and all that stuff. So, obviously I don't have a problem with competitive at all. I just have a problem with competitive players who speak against pub stomp, against pub stompers who speak against competitive. At the same time, I'm also against that. I think that's very stupid because I don't think they understand what competitive really is, because they run into kids in public matches who think competitive is just public matches, but they're not, us pub stompers aren't getting a very good vision of what the true competitive players out there are. You run into those clans that have their names and all that, and they think that they're gods, and then you beat them and you're like, well, competitive is stupid. Not really. But that's all I have to say for today, guys. Until next time, goodbye.